Hello everyone, Catweazle here, welcome to the channel, and welcome to Zombicide, Black Plague, Dance Macabre, Chapter the 5th. Yep, it's turn 9 coming up. We're going to be a little bit busy, I think. Okay, a couple of cock-ups from last turn. The main one was, once again, right at the end, I forgot that it wasn't a blue spawn, it is actually a yellow spawn, which meant the fatty's got an extra activation. So I've done that now, moved a fatty from here to here, fatty from here to here, and a fatty that was here into there. So that is now caught up. I've also given myself a little aide-memoire. If we do get to the orange spawn, I'll write that on the back, because I obviously need it. So hopefully that'll remind me when we get to the zombie phase. There was another slight cock-up where I tried to do a trade with Silas. Silas was obviously in the vault, so poor old Baldric couldn't trade with him. But what he could do is he could have traded with Nelly, and that's what he did do. So Nelly has only got an axe now. She did have an axe and a short sword, but she gave that to Baldric. And talking of Baldric, it's Baldric who is first next turn. So let's crack on with that next turn. And here we are at the player phase and turn 9. And as stated, Baldric is our first player. And what he's going to do for his first action is he's going to use that healing spell that he traded off Clovis. Now this is an enchantment. It's going to create noise because he's going to be doing a bit of chanting. But he can basically target anybody, including himself. There are no zombies, so he can target himself no problem. And he is going to heal that damage that he took last turn from the zombie that Samson let out the closet. So he's going to cast that, and that means he's back up to full health, but it is going to make a little bit of a noise. So we'll put the noise token in this room. Right, that means he's got 2 actions left. So first of all, he's going to move here, and then for his final action, he's going to move there. So that is the end of Baldric's turn. Next up, it is Clovis. And here we are with Clovis in the room with Anne. And what he's going to do, he's going to trade with Anne. This is important because Clovis is going to be our first player next turn. So what's he trading with Anne? Well, he's going to trade for Anne's torch, the dragon bile, and the sword. Sword's better than his short sword. And dragon bile and the torch he will need the start of next turn. So he's actually going to equip the torch and the dragon bile in his hands, and he's going to put the sword in his backpack. In return, the repeating crossbow and his short sword and his plenty of bolts are going to Anne. So that's his first action, a trade. Then with his final 2 actions, he's going to go 1, 2, and he's going to move into this zone as well with the rest of the guys. So that is it for Clovis. Next up is Nelly. And here we are with Nelly. Now unfortunately, Nelly is going to have to pick up the final token. It's not ideal. We would have liked somebody else to pick it up to get into the yellow level, get that extra action. But in order to do what we've got to do and maintain tempo, because we've got to do it exactly right to be able to pull this off, it's Nelly that's actually going to have to use her extra action that she's got in order for us to pull this off. So she's going to use her free movement action to go in here. Then she's going to use what will be her first action to obviously pick up what is the green token. So that gives her 5 more experience, puts her up to 12 experience. Then she's still got 2 actions to go. So what she's going to do is she's going to come back into here, and she is going to forego her last action. The reason we've had to do that is it's the only way that we can open the door. We can only open the door after the objective's been picked up, and we do need Samson to open the door. So we've had to do it that way. She's lost an action, but it's for the common good. Okay, that's it for Nelly. So next up it is Samson. So let's see exactly what he's going to do. Okay, here's Samson. He's got 3 actions, but that's going to be enough. His first action, he's going to go in here. His second action, he's going to use the axe. Automatically opens the door. Does create a bit of noise, but he will automatically open the door. So there we go. Creates a bit of noise. And with his final action, he is actually going to step into the room. So he's ready to use the magic circle. And that is the end of his turn. Next up is Silas. Here we are with Silas. He's going to go 1 for his first action, 2 for his second action, and he'll search for his third action. He's still got an extra action, so if we do end up getting some sort of like zombie, a walker or something, we should be able to deal with it. So next up, he gets a hand crossbow anyway, so that's pretty cool. So he'll put that in his backpack, and he has got a final action left, and I think he's going to let that slide. Doesn't need to do a trade or anything, he's just going to wait there. Hang on, I'll just check something. He might be able to escape straight away, I'm not sure. I think he could probably escape with his final action because there's no zombies there, but let's play it, you know, a bit thematically. I think Baldric really has to be in the room in order for this to work. So we'll just leave him there for the time being. I think that'll be fine. Right, okay, so that is the end of Silas's go. And our final player for this turn is Anne. What is Anne going to do? Well, she can't really make it into the room. She's only got 3 actions, so she may as well search where she is. And she finds some water. Discard this card, gain 1 experience point. So she'll do that straight away. That puts her up to 5 experience points. So there we go. And with her final 2 actions, she is going to go 1, 2. So there she is. So that is the end of the player phase. Next up, it's the zombie phase. And here we are at the zombie phase. So the first thing is zombie movement. So this fatty is going to go down into the vault. These 2 are going to shamble into here. These 2 will go in here. These 2 walkers, the runners, will go 1, 2 and 1, 2. They're desperately trying to catch us up. This fatty will walk into here, and all these guys shuffle into here. I'll just put those in. There we go. So that is all the zombie movement. Next, it's a zombie spawn. Let's remember what colour we're on. So, and oh, nearly forgot, we've got to flick that over. So we've now got 2 spawn points because we flicked over the green token. So first one, which is this one, we get 1 runner. Let's dig one out. So there we go, we've got a runner here. And for the second spawn point, we have 1 fatty. Nasty. But I don't think it's going to be good enough. Don't think it's going to be good enough for him. So there's the fatty, ready to cause some trouble. Okay, so that's it for the spawn. And let's move into the end phase. And here we are at the zombie end phase. So let's get rid of these noise tokens. Excellent stuff. So we'll get rid of those. And that is the end of turn 9. So not too bad. We've got a couple of people in the target room. We've only got one fatty to get past, and all the rest are trailing in our wake. So let's get on with turn 10. And here we are at turn 10. So our new player is now Clovis. Okay, so let's get on with the player phase. And it's Clovis to go first. Now, what I was going to do, if we got some horrendous double spawn or whatever, I was going to put the dragon bile down. But I don't think we particularly need to. So, what I'm going to do is Clovis is going to use one action to move here. And then to move out of here, because there's a zombie in it, he needs to move. He needs to use 2 actions. One for the zombie and one to actually move. So that's what he's going to do. So he's going to move right in there. So he's going to sort of bypass the shambling fatty. So next up we have Nelly. What Nelly's going to do is she's going to use one action, I think, to... She's going to equip Dragon Bile. She's got Dragon Bile, and she's actually going to put it in her offhand for a first action. The second action is going to be a free movement action into here, and then she's going to burn 2 other actions so she can actually move into here. But she does have the Dragon Bile in her hand now, so should she require it. Right, so that's it for Nelly. Next up is Samson. I don't think Samson's going to do anything. Samson's going to stay where he is. He's not going to pop out and try and take that fatty on. We've got another plan for it. So he's going to stay where he is. And he's going to let all his actions go. Next up is Silas. Now Silas is going to do something. Silas can shoot through this open door at the fatty. We've got nobody in here, which is why I didn't move Samson in there, which means it's essentially a free few shots for good old Silas, and he must be able to hit the fatty. The Orcish crossbow, if you remember, it's 1 to 2, so it's in range. He's going to get 2 dice. He needs a 3+, which is actually a 2+ for Silas because of his special ability, and it will do 2 damage, which is enough. So let's do those 2 dice. His first action, and there we go. Hits with a 5. Gets rid of the fatty. Great stuff. That moves him on to 8 experience. And we have got rid of that fatty. Next up, we have Anne. Anne's next. So what's Anne going to do? The first thing she's going to do is she does have dragon... No, she doesn't. She swaps it out. She is just going to move 1, 2. So she's going into that room as well. So we've got most of our people in there, and she's not going to use her final action, which leaves Baldric. So Baldric, he's going to go 1, 2 as well. So he's in the room. He's got another action, and let's just say with that other action that he sets up, he's now set up the magic circle, and everybody's ready to go. So that is the end of the player phase. I don't think that's the end, because I think they've all got to have another action to go through the actual magic circle. I'll just check. Actually, I think everybody could probably have escaped there. It says, use the magic circle to teleport to safety. Reach the exit zone with all survivors. Any survivor may escape through this zone at the end of his turn, as long as there's no zombies in it. But, you know what? I think Baldric really had to be there. He has to settle the magic circle, doesn't he? So we'll do one more turn, I think. So that's the end of the player phase. Nobody's escaped yet, but we're nearly there. Righty-ho. Next up, it's the zombie phase. And here we are with the zombies. So the first fatty's going to come up here. Second fatty and his walker friend are going to go into the vault. These two runners are going to run into the vault. These three are going to come through here. This mob are going to walk into here. Sorry, OCD. Got to have them in a line. And this runner joins the others. Oh no, it doesn't. It only moves two, doesn't it? So that's 1, 2. It goes there. Right, so that's the zombie movement. So let's do the zombie spawn. Yellow. First one, we get a double spawn. So we get a double spawn here. This is going to spice it up, isn't it? I think we're still okay though. So we've got a double spawn. So it's 2 cards for here. Which gets 1. We get 2 walkers. Whoop, where's another walker? There we go. There are 2 walkers in there. Let's all be heading that direction, won't they? So it's 2 walkers there. And we've got yet another card. 2 runners, but I think it might be too late for them. So 2 runners, and then we get the normal spawn for here, or do we? Let's just check. Yes, I think that's it. Draw a double spawn here, just goes here, and you draw the 2 cards here. I don't think you draw again, but as I'm not sure, don't think you do. Let's draw anyway. So we get another 2 fatties. So let's put those on. Let's just say there's a final spurt of like zombies. They've heard the door being cracked in and they're all legging it in from everywhere. So I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference. So there we are. It would, if they weren't in the final room, look pretty grim for our survivors. But that's it. So next up, it's the end phase. So the end phase, we remove all our tokens off the board. So I don't think there are any. So no. If I've missed any, well, we've took them off now anyway. So let's move into what will probably be the last turn, turn 11. And let's see who's first up. And our first player is Nelly. And the first thing Nelly's going to do, if you remember, she equipped that Dragon Bile last turn. Well, she's going to discard this. And she can discard it between 0 and 1 zone away. So that is exactly what she's going to do. And here's the Dragon Bile sort of tile. And what we're going to have to do is like just move these people out of the way. Let's move the zombies out of the way and just pop that there. And they are all stood in this Dragon Bile. For a second action, what she's going to do is she's going to trade. And she's going to trade with Clovis. And Clovis is going to give her this torch, which she's going to put in her hand. And that's a second action. For a third action, she's going to take the torch and she's going to chuck it in the Dragon Bile, baby. So let's discard that. Mess around with the zombies again. Well, basically get ready to take them off the board. Because what happens as soon as you chuck a torch in Dragon Bile, that's it. Boom, baby. Boom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these get took off the board, and that is 6 experience points for the lovely Nelly. who better to douse them all in flames than our flame-haired vixen? So she gets 6 experience points, puts her up to 18. We're still in the yellow zone, not that it matters now. But we've managed to get rid of a few zombies. And she, like, that's the end of the turn now, and she is going to escape. So she's going to escape out of the magic circle. Next person, well, it's all going to be very quick. Everybody who's going after Nelly is obviously going to escape. So Samson, then Silas, then Anne, then Baldric, and finally Clovis. So there we are. We have completed Dance Macabre, and we even got to use the Dragon Bile at the end. I think we could have probably escaped a turn earlier, but for thematic reasons, you know, let's have Baldric in the actual room to make the magic circle, and plus the fact it allowed us to incinerate a load of zombies, which is also always very fun, and you got to see the actual Dragon Bile mechanic. So there you go. Thoroughly enjoyable game. It was a bit easy, but it is an introductory quest, and you can actually play it with 4 survivors. If I'd had chance to play it before this blind playthrough, I probably would have played it with 4 players rather than the full 6. That'd have probably been, you know, a bigger challenge. But if you do find the game easy, there is nothing to stop you from only playing with 4 players, or 3, or 2. You can make it more difficult on yourself. You don't have to use the full 6. So it's completely up to you. If you're playing the game and find it easier, you know, try taking a survivor out, a couple of survivors out. If you're still finding it easy, do it that way. But yeah, cool. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it's dripping with theme. It's really good. I've had a look at some of the other quests and they look really, really good. And a lot more challenging. As I say, this is the introductory one, so it isn't very challenging, but it does give you a good idea of the mechanics and how to play the game. So I thoroughly recommend playing it first if you haven't played before. If you end up playing it again, like same as me, I'd probably play it with less survivors to make it a bit more of a challenge, but thoroughly enjoyed it. It was great. I'm looking forward to, obviously I've got all the stretch goals for this. I was in on the Kickstarter, so I'm looking forward to the Wolfsburg expansion and all there was like little character sets that various artists have done. I'm particularly looking forward to the one that is based on Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I think that'll be a lot of fun, and I'll enjoy painting those minis, and I will actually enjoy painting these. I didn't get a chance to paint the actual zombies themselves, but I think it'll be great fun doing these as well. So, fantastic. That's the end of Zombicide Black Plague and Dance Macabre. And I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks very much for all the subscriptions. I've now got over 500. So a very special thank you for that. I hope you're all enjoying the channel as much as I'm enjoying providing the content. I'm having a whale of a time. So thanks very much for watching. As I say, thanks very much for the subscriptions, for all the comments and the support and the help on the rules and pointing out where I'm going wrong and all that sort of stuff. Special thank you to all those who've been over to Board Game Links to upvote the site. Thank you. And I hope you'll join me next time for my next playthrough. I'm not sure where it is yet. I think it may be Shadows of Brimstone and Caverns of Cinder. But if anybody's got any special requests, by all means, let me know. Oh, while I'm at it, I got there's been a couple of new arrivals that I've got that I'm looking forward to playing at some point. One is Waste Nights, which is sort of set like, it's like Mad Max meets Fallout 4. So based in the Australian desert after some horrible apocalypse. So I'm looking forward to playing that. I saw Kalasmar, the Lonely Gamer, did a playthrough of it at Christmas, and it just looked fabulous, man. So I got that, and that arrived a few days ago. And I was also able to able to source another game which is sadly out of print, but I managed to get it on eBay, and I'm glad I have, because it's dripping with theme. As you may have noticed, I love games with theme, and the game I was able to get was Tannhauser, which is just brilliant. I just love the Hellboy type, you know, the Great War hasn't finished, and the Germans, the Allies, and all sorts of, like, they're not called Germans and the Allies obviously, but they're all duking it out, and that looks fabulous, so I'm looking forward to playing that as well. It's not really a solo game. I'll have to I'll have to sort of play myself with both of those games. They're not really solo, but I just love the theme of those, so I'm looking forward to playing those at some point. But anyway, I've waited on enough. This is probably getting on to 40-45 minutes now, isn't it? So thanks very much for watching once again, and this is Catweazle signing off. Toodaloo.